This is what you see on the create page of a newly created Commpiano project. It's nothing much, just these 4 notes. You can do things such as changing the notes, inserting or adding new notes. You can also delete notes. But if you really want to get to work, there's a huge chance you will be needing something more than these 4 notes you're provided with. You might want to record something, maybe even on a different time scale, start from scratch, and record something from start to finish that is entirely your own. If that's the case, you can start off by deleting all cells of the record timeline. And now you have an empty timeline. The record timeline can be divided into 2 primary sections, also known as hands, and there are 2 of them, right and left. Those can in turn be further divided into subsections that are called fingers. The reason why Commpiano's timeline is created after this model was to mimic as closely as possible how a real piano is played in real life. The left hand on the timeline should have 5 fingers and only include notes that the left hand would play on a real keyboard. So typically the lower pitched sounds, while your right hand should have, you guessed it, notes your right hand might play on a real keyboard, so typically higher pitched sounds. But Commpiano is flexible enough to record and still play back fine if you record it any other way, like recording higher pitched sounds on the left hand. However you do it though, it's important to stick to an order or arrangement for your project. What that does is it makes it easier for you to find notes as your project gets larger. So another part of recording on Commpiano that can help you avoid timing mistakes has to do with the metronome, since that is the only way you can get in tune when recording on the platform. There are 3 values to set here. Tempo or beats per minute will represent how fast your recording will go. Steps or beats represents the number of clicks in one complete round of the metronome. And the third one, the step divisor, is there for accuracy. Because whatever you record is expected to follow the beat of the metronome, a lot of times you need to further divide those clicks so you can fit in notes in between the clicks without having to sound a click at that point. Examine the following example. Notice that we would never have been able to record at this pace if we hadn't subdivided further and increased the step divisor from 1 to 2. But of course, all this only matter if you'd be recording with the metronome or auto snap to beat on. To deactivate auto snap to beat, click on this widget and the app will no longer map your inputs to the exact time the metronome click sounds. To deactivate metronome sound altogether, click on this checkbox right here on the header of the metronome panel. But we'll keep both on and create the simple song Mary Had a Little Lamb to demonstrate more features. Sometimes after setting the metronome values and you press record, you might want to first listen so you know how fast or slow to record. That's enough recording for now, because I just made 2 errors, so let's play it all back to find out what they are. First, the second note hasn't been recorded when exactly I wanted it. It seems to have been snapped to the 2.5 second time mark. I want it to come in a little bit later than that. Since I already know the exact time I want it to come in to be on the 2.75 time mark, I can decide to add a new note between the second note and the third note and input the value for the second note. All you have to do is hover on the second note and press on the plus button, and it creates a new cell for you next to the second note. And then you can input the notes you'd like to create, just like this. Another way to solve the problem is to address the very reason it snapped like that in the first place, and reset the step divisor, which was set to 1, and the tempo is set to 120. So since I wanted to record on the 2.75 mark, it was always gonna get snapped either to the 2.5 mark or 3.0 second mark, since there is just a difference of 0.5 seconds between each metronome click. So to solve this, I will increase the step divisor value from 1 to 2. That should give us the subdivision we need to input this note and all remaining notes in this song. So before we re-record that beat, I prefer to hover on the note about to be replaced and click the delete icon, and then press record, and then re-record the new note. You can see now that we have our new note at the 2.75 mark. To clear things up a little bit, I'd love to delete the empty cells. So click on the 2.5 time mark and then click on this green cell right here and select delete selected interval. And that clears the empty cells along with the 2.5 time mark. And just to clear things up, let's play back all the way and find the second error. It seems to inputted the wrong note on the last cell. Instead of inputting key E or sulfur note Mi, we inputted key D or sulfur note Re. All we need to change that is hover on that note and press the edit button right next to the plus button and then pick the right note. Whether with your keyboard or mouse. Now that we have no more errors, we can continue recording. So, until now, every time we press the record button, it starts recording from the zeros mark. But one thing a little bit hidden is we can start recording from the middle of a song or your record by clicking on the interval or time mark cell. Just click on the drop down button next to the record button and select record from selected time, and it starts from where you want it. It is way convenient than starting at zero, especially when you've gone far with your recording. So this is what I'm gonna use to continue recording the song. To play back from the middle of a song, select any time interval you want to start from or start with. Click the drop down next to the playback button and select playback subset. Another way to record is to manually input the notes you want. You can combine that with the extend grid function. To do this, you click on the extend grid button. It gives you a few empty cells you can work with, and if you need more, you can just click more. To add the notes you need, click on the empty cells at the time mark you want and press the notes you want to record. Using this method, you are under no pressure to keep up with the beat of the metronome, although it definitely can be a lot slower to record. So I've gone ahead to finish up with the left hand behind the scenes, and now let's play back to hear how it all sounds. So that's all the tricks I have for you in this video. In another video, I'll be explaining how to save time when recording with Commpiano. If you have any question about what was said in this video, leave a comment down below. I'll be more than happy to reply and answer your questions. And with all that said, see you all in the next video.